And hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to fourth quarter once again. We are definitely live. And hear me in the background. Good soundtrack. Okay. Yeah, Craig, we were just talking about the NBA. NBA around this time of guys is speeding up. More players are coming back. The trade deadline is over. It's after the All-Star break, so teams start gearing up because usually around this time of year, if your team is playing well this time of year, it's good for you. If they're not playing well, it's kind of hard. From what I've seen in my past, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Craig, but if a team in the NBA isn't playing well going into the playoffs, they usually don't, right?
Normally.
Maybe it depends on the matchup, but, usually.
That's the case.
That's the case, right? So let's talk about the East. Now, we just said this. The East, the first 5 seeds are probably going to be there. It's the Bucks, the number 1, the Celtics, number 2, the Sixers, number 3, Cavs, number 4, New York, number 5. I get that. Now, 6 through 10, I think they stay there. I think I would say I would put the Heat in the 6th spot and the Brooklyn Nets in the 7th spot, but I would leave Atlanta, Toronto, and I think the Wizards make the play-in. I don't think the Bulls are playing good at all. I don't know what Patrick Beverley was talking about. He's going to help put the Lakers out in the playoffs when the Bulls aren't even going to make it.
He said what?
He said, because I think they play the Lakers twice. He was like, I want to put the Lakers out the playoffs, but like.
And he's on what team now?
Chicago Bulls.
They play him twice this late in the season. Okay.
That's what I think so.
Okay. I guess.
I just don't. I mean, they're surging and the Bulls are not surging. I don't know why I said that, but I don't know. I don't know why Patrick Beverley said it. You're not even in the.
He's clearly seems to be mad, like he was.
Not even a play-in. Maybe it's bad. I don't know, man. That was just odd to me. They're not in the same conference. You're not in the play-in, or I don't know. Maybe he was mad because they traded him, but
probably so.
Maybe so. But do you see any changes between the 6th and the
10th? Probably not. I think Brooklyn's okay right where they are. They probably can. They might get caught by Miami. I wouldn't be surprised just because there's no big time superstar on that team anymore with Durant gone and Kyrie gone. So they still have Bam. They still have Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry still there. So they have got, and they've been to the finals before a couple years ago, like 3 years ago now. Going on 3 years ago. So they have guys there. They had that experience. They went deep into the playoffs last year, and
I think they went to Eastern Conference Finals.
So they had that. I'm not sure what's going on. It seems like their team that was predicated on defense. They're not playing as good defense like they were last year. Good enough defense. So I probably would stick to what it is now, especially the top 5. I'm going to lean towards Brooklyn. Top 6. They won 3 in a row. They look pretty good, especially as of late. At one point, they looked. They just needed somebody like Cam Thomas to step up, like he was doing, and then he's kind of taking a step back. But give me the same top 6.
Okay.
With Miami, Atlanta. Yeah, the same top 10. I'm going in order. I'm going to change too much.
I agree with that. Now, this gets interesting. The Western Conference is very interesting, guys. I think Denver locks up the number 1 seed. I think well, I might Phoenix might get that number 2 seed if they're playing like they are.
I'm not sold on Sacramento. And
Yeah.
Memphis without Ja Morant, he's going to miss 4 more games. That could be 4 more losses. I don't know. They've already lost 3 in a row, so.
Yeah. 4 games is tough around this time of year, man.
Yeah, he's going through his own stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, he is. He is. You know, everybody was young.
Yeah, but he's young.
He's young. Yeah. Early 20s, man. My early 20s, I don't know what I would have been doing. I was a different person than I am today. So, but so think about it. Let's see. If Memphis, if Ja is gone, right, and they're in the 3rd seed right now. They're in the 3rd seed. They're the remaining 4 games are. They have Golden State with Steph back. They got Golden State and they got Dallas back to back. And then they got Miami. They might beat Miami. I don't know if they're going to beat Dallas both games.
Nah, I think they might go.
Ja, not without Ja.
They might go 1-3.
Yeah.
Then I have to evaluate. I don't know what the situation is that they're going to evaluate, or if we just go on for the next 4 games and he's back.
Yeah.
Just says he'll miss 4 more games.
Damn, that's Golden State just lost. I mean, they just lost to they just got Steph back. I don't know if and they're at Golden. No. So they're not. It's in Memphis.
It's in Memphis, and you know how horrible Golden State is away from home. So that's not a lot.
Be a win.
That's not a lot.
The back-to-back Dallas, I don't.
Memphis ain't that good away from home either. They're only like 12-21. So I mean, they're not setting the world by any means, but
they might lose those back-to-back to Dallas.
Oh man, and Dallas is. I mean, it's all crazy. Dallas is struggling.
Dallas is struggling. They're scoring, but they can't.
They're scoring like they're Dallas last year had better defense. They were one of the better defensive teams, and that's why they got to the.
I think Spencer Dinwiddie had a part in that, and I think he's a better defender than people give him credit for.
I don't see him in the Western Conference Finals again this year, but
they might lose both of those games because you got to think they don't have the offensive power without Ja to score. So they might beat Golden State, but they're on a 3-game losing streak. They might beat Golden State, but they're going to have 2 losses against Dallas. And they might lose to Miami. So you're right. They might go 1-3. I can see them going 1-3 in that stretch, which is not good. Which, I think they're going to drop. So I think Phoenix is going to end up with the number 2 seed. I think so, man. They're like 2.5 games back. I think the number 1 seed is locked. I don't think nobody's catching Denver. But I think Phoenix with Kevin Durant, everybody stays healthy. I think they get the number 2 seed. I think the Sacramento Kings. Who do you see in the number 3 seed? This is like a puzzle.
I'm probably gonna stick with the
Grizzlies.
With the Grizzlies.
Okay.
I think they'll be able to get through this. Oh God, I think they'll be able to get through this stretch here without Ja, and then they'll be able to finish the season strong. I think I'm just
they get Ja back. They got San Antonio, Then they got Golden State at home. They can win that. And they got Dallas. They can win that. And then they can win Houston. So they can finish up strong.
I'm just not a believer in Sacramento. Like, I wanted them. I thought they was going to do something last year, at least make the play-in. To me, they're exceeding expectations.
Yeah.
I didn't have them at, right now. They're the 2 seed. I didn't have them this high. But I mean, I
didn't either.
That they have. They're like Memphis. They're a young team. It's just they don't talk a lot and go out there like Memphis does, but they win games. But I mean, I just don't know, man. Like, I haven't really been looking at Sacramento on my radar all season. I'm waiting for them to slip, but they haven't slipped yet. But I don't know, man. Maybe they get to the playoffs. They're in that top 2, top 3. And they got a home court advantage, and they're playing like a Golden State or
they'll win. Yeah, they play Golden State, though.
Dallas or something like that. I think that's probably, if I'm Golden State, that's
that's what you want.
Try to get something type of momentum going or something like that. That's who I want. But I mean,
so you got Sacramento locked in the 2 seed. You think they're gonna lock it up?
No, I got Sacramento in the 3 seed. I got Memphis 2.
Sacramento you got Memphis 2. Okay.
Yeah.
You got
no. I'm sorry. I got Phoenix. I forgot about Phoenix.
Phoenix. Yeah, I was about to say. All right.
Phoenix 2. Phoenix
Grizzlies
2.
3.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Phoenix 2. Grizzlies 3. Kings 4.
Yeah, I like that.
Golden State 5. That way they'll have a matchup with them. 6. I got. I think I'm gonna go with Dallas. I don't know why.
Okay. 6, I got the Lakers because they're playing better defense right now.
7, I got the Lakers, and 8, I got, because they're gonna have to play each other again. I think they played each other last year, the year before, Memphis and the Clippers. I'm going with the Clippers. I think Cat does come back soon. Maybe at the end of the month or close to the end of the month. That's right around the time LeBron's coming back, I believe.
Yeah.
Somewhere around it. He's gonna get reevaluated soon. But between the Clippers, there's so many bad, like good, like name teams, but they're struggling.
Yeah.
Clippers have their issues.
Pelicans.
The Pelicans, I don't know when Zion's coming back.
They're saying 2 weeks. I just saw something that said 2 weeks, but I don't know. They be missing a lot of games.
LeBron. The Timberwolves have Cat. The Warriors have, I mean, they seem to be somewhat healthy, but I mean, I think Wiggins is still out. But I mean, even still, they have Steph and Clay, but they still just can't win games. And then the Mavericks, they can't figure out how to gel with the backcourt that they got. Suns look good.
The Suns look good. So let me ask you: do you have the Pelicans in the 10th seed? Do you think they lock it in?
No, I'm going with the Thunder. I think they'll.
I like that pick. I'm going with them too.
I think they'll catch them. I mean, so many, like the Thunder, the Blazers, and the Jazz. They're all right there. They're all right there.
Damn.
So I mean, it could go either way. I wasn't a believer in the Jazz or the Blazers before the season started, or the Thunder for that matter. I thought the Pelicans would easily get into the playoffs, but I mean, without their quote unquote best player, I mean, I don't.
But they still, which is crazy, because they still have Brandon Ingram. They still have
the team started off good.
Yes.
And then they had like a nice 9, 10 or whatever it was game.
Yes, they were balling. And I like them. I do. I don't. Damn, they lost like 10 in a row.
This is
1 point. 1 point in the season. Damn, they lost like 10 in a row. Then they won 3. Then they lost. Then they won. Then they lost like 4 in a row. Damn. And then they got Dallas. Without Zion, they're probably losing that. Oklahoma City is going to be a big one. But without Zion, and then Portland, damn, 2 weeks from now, Zion's still not back. Damn, and they play the Lakers again without Zion. Because if Zion's out 2 more weeks and it's March 8th, you're talking about he's coming back maybe the 22nd of March. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. He might come back against Charlotte. But they have a tough stretch, Craig. March 8th, they got Dallas. Then they got Oklahoma City. Then they got Portland. Then they got the LA Lakers.
See,
those might be 4 losses.
It's according to
That's
this
a
website,
tough stretch.
Lakers have the second easiest strength of schedule. The Pelicans says have the 4th easiest. But I mean, when you don't have your best player, it's going to be kind of hard. At least the Lakers can. They have an all-star MVP caliber player, and Anthony Davis. And I think the pieces that they got from the trades,
yeah,
I think it's working out so far.
Damn. Then they got Houston back to back. They might be 2 wins, and San Antonio, and then Zion might be back for Charlotte. Then they go into another look after Charlotte, Craig. They play the Clippers, Portland, Golden State, Denver, the Clippers again, and Sacramento and Memphis, and New York and Minnesota. That is a tough stretch. They're going to need Zion for that. And that starts March 25th. That's a tough end of the schedule. I don't know if they
18 games left. So
if he doesn't have no setback, then that's a tough end. I don't think they're going to make it. That's a tough end of the schedule, man.
It's a setback.
Which is crazy, man.
You just can't stay healthy. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't even.
You
just can't stay healthy.
And I love him as a player so much. We talked about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Zion fan. All right, so let me ask you this. Who do you have in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals? It'll be an interesting one.
I'm gonna stick with Milwaukee and Boston in the East.
I'm sticking with them too.
West, I'm going with Phoenix, and it's between Memphis if they can get Ja back healthy. But I mean, if they play Phoenix, they might play him in the second round. So I don't really see that happening. So
I gotta
go Phoenix and Denver. I gotta just go with the.
I'm going Phoenix and the Lakers. I think somebody's gonna upset Denver, dog. I think somebody is gonna upset Denver. Like if the Lakers get the 8th seed, I think they'll beat Denver, and I think if the Clippers, they'll beat Denver. I don't believe in Denver. I think if they go against the veteran team like the Clippers, I think the Clippers will beat Denver, or the Lakers will beat Denver in the first round.
I can't see it.
Besides that, I think they'll beat they'll beat Golden State. They'll beat the Timberwolves. If they get Dallas, I don't know.
They'll beat Dallas. I think they'll beat just about any team in the West, except for Phoenix and maybe Golden State. It's the only team I can see. Other than that, maybe not. But then Golden State, they're just so inconsistent, especially on the road. I don't even know if I believe that.
It's tough. They got to win one in Denver. They might. I guess they might.
I don't know, man. The way Denver's playing this year,
they're balling.
The MVP on the team again, 3 straight in a row.
3 straight.
The way he's playing.
So yeah, we got the same Eastern Conference Finals, and the Western Conference is going to be. I really can't wait to see who makes the play-in in the Western Conference. I want to really see the final seedings because it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting, man. All right. So the big news, Craig, is the Ravens tagged Lamar Jackson. They didn't give him the exclusive tag that would have paid him $45 million a year. They gave him the non-exclusive tag where other teams could talk to him, and he still might have still got to get 2 first-round picks, and they can match the offer. Now, this is what I do not believe. So Commanders, I do believe the Commanders, the Panthers, the Falcons. What was the other team? It was Atlanta, the Commanders, the Panthers. It was one more team that said they were not interested in Lamar Jackson. Now, everybody's talking about collusion. Mike Florio thinks it is. I'm not going to go that far and say it's collusion. It looks weird. But I can't believe any NFL teams at this point, because when Deshaun Watson, it was like no team wants him, no team wants it. The next thing you know, there's a bidding war for him. So I don't believe NFL teams around this time of year. I don't believe it. I don't believe the smoke and mirrors. I don't believe the team is like, no, we're not interested in Lamar. Hey, Lamar, don't tell anybody, but what would you take? You know what I'm saying? Because now reports are coming out like he doesn't want guaranteed money. Craig, I just don't believe NFL teams. But the question is, do you think the Ravens sign him long term?
That's a good one. I don't.
Good one.
I think if they can say the Houston Texans offer Lamar a contract or whatever it is, and he says, okay, he's going to take it, and the Ravens don't match it, then the Ravens get, I'm not sure what picks they get. I know they get 2 first-round picks. I don't know if it's this first-round pick this year's or what, but say they get this year's first-round pick. Then they can get, they'll be the number 2 pick. They can get a quarterback. They can reset the clock. Well, they can reset the clock on the quarterback contract, and I mean they'll have a good young quarterback that they can groom and start from scratch over with, and got a new offensive coordinator in there. So, I mean, if that's, that could, I mean, to me, that's something that's a possibility. Yeah, especially if the Ravens don't want to. Lamar Jackson's kind of setting himself up, and I don't know. I think having an agent would definitely help him better than what it is now, because I think an agent could be the buffer,
calm him down,
and just tell Lamar, this is what the offer is. This is what you should do. Blah blah blah. Kind of give him a little bit more guidance of how he should handle this, versus trying to represent yourself. There's nothing wrong with representing yourself. Some players do it, and it works out just fine. But I think the owners have seen some of these guys, like looking at like the top 10 guaranteed contracts for the NFL, just quarterbacks. Number 1 is Deshaun. So far, that's an outlier, and that didn't work out.
That's an outlier.
Maybe they wanted to last year. Maybe next year. You never know. It might work out in the coming years, but it didn't work out.
Cap is crazy.
Nah. Kyler Murray, number 2. I think the Cardinals would like to, everything that came out with him a few years ago, with all the controversy surrounding that, when he was about to sign, he did sign, all that stuff, and then some of it came out and said it was false or whatever it is. Whatever the case may be, I think the Cardinals would like to get out from under that, especially all the guarantee that they got. Number 3 is
they can't. I mean, his joint doesn't kick in until 2024.
I mean, but
this season is he's hurt. It's not. Yeah. But it doesn't. The cap hit doesn't start.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got it's a lot of dead cap money, which means the year that he's hurt, his cap hit is like $1 million or something.
And then you got Russell Wilson, the way he played last year. I wouldn't want no parts of that. Number 4 is Aaron Rodgers. They're trying to maybe trade him, and you have to deal with his off the season antics, and if he's coming back or whatever it is, I don't know. Number 5 is Josh Allen. Josh Allen's good.
Josh Allen's good.
Coming young quarterback, and after that is like Patrick Mahomes and players like that. So, but I mean, like out of the top 4, like would you, if you're an owner, you see that going on? You're kind of thinking to yourself, I don't know if I really want to give this guy this much guarantee. He's been hurt the last 2 years, missed 10 games, including playoffs, and they could have won that game last year against the Bengals. They lost by 7. He's been hurt. He wants all this guaranteed money, and I see what's going on with some of these other teams. I don't know if I really want to give him that much guarantee. Like if I'm Lamar, I think if they offer me 5-year deal, 250 million, 200 million guaranteed or something like that, because I think Kyler got like 190 or 189 or something.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit more than Kyler, but you don't get as much as Deshaun. If you're looking for Deshaun money, I don't think that's going to happen. Especially That's another reason I think these owners are not really supposedly came out and said, or the teams came out and said,
yeah,
him, because if you're looking for Deshaun Watson money,
yeah.
I don't know who's
They're
going
trying to say it's an outlier, which I think it is.
You got to just accept that you're better.
It's only been him and Kirk Cousins that's done it.
I think
they're the only ones.
The better quarterback than Deshaun as far as overall.
Oh yeah,
I think Deshaun's a better pocket passer, but overall, what he can bring to the table is former MVP, all this stuff and all that. But I mean, you have to just kind of accept the fact that that was something that's probably never going to happen again. And I mean, you just got to take the best deal that comes to you. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of these teams coming out and automatically saying we're not gonna, especially the Panthers, we're not interested, basically.
Yeah, just talk to him. You don't know what
that you can't come out and say we're going to talk to him, because I think that would be tampering.
Oh, okay.
Too early. It doesn't start till Monday.
Oh, okay.
But you don't have to say anything. You just be silent on it and just wait till Monday and then offer him a deal. That's it. You don't have to come out and say you're not going to talk to him or whatever it is.
That's why I don't believe it, Craig. It doesn't make sense, yo.
I've been saying the same thing for the last couple of weeks. I don't believe anything any NFL team says in March or February or in the offseason, basically, because you just never know. I mean, teams say they lie all the time, or they just hide.
Yeah, the Raiders were like, we're not gonna cut Derek Carr. I was like, yes, you are.
Can't believe what these teams say, man.
We're gonna trade him. You're not.
You just can't believe it, man. Especially in the offseason. I just don't think anything that anybody, any front office or any team or player, whatever it is, says. Take it all with a grain of salt, man, and just keep it moving and just figure out until it happens. I really don't. It's hearsay, man. But if I'm the Ravens, if you can't get the best 2 draft pick, especially one coming up this year, you can just get a quarterback off of it. And if Lamar, I mean, I don't know what his preference is in terms of money, especially fully guaranteed, like what he's actually looking for. If he's actually looking for Deshaun money, or he's actually looking for something that's higher than Kyler Murray, because I don't know what the Ravens offered him.
Yeah, I don't know what the Ravens offer him. If
the Panthers can offer him 5 years, $250 million or $230 million or whatever it is, with 195, 200 million guaranteed or something like that, or whatever team. I mean, if I was Lamar, I would have to strongly consider that.
Yeah. Oh, y'all get Lamar. Y'all are catapulting is one of the best teams in the NFC, if not.
I mean, a lot of these teams got to make space. I think the Falcons have space. The Bears, what if the Bears did like a sign and trade type thing or whatever it is? Or they just, I don't know how that would work. You trade back Fields.
They would
2 first-round picks or whatever it is.
Whatever. I don't know how that would work.
I mean, you saw what Deshaun went for 3 number 1s, I think, last year.
Oh yeah, Lamar's he's gonna go. I think it's the non-exclusive is 2 guaranteed.
It is. And Russ went for 2 number 1s, I believe, and like some players, like 3 players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you could trade, man, you got to try to figure something out. If you can't figure it out,
damn, it's only 2 firsts. Damn.
I mean, if a team like, say, the Commanders, they're picking 16th, why would you not want to try to make the best offer and just give up a 16th pick for Lamar Jackson? Yeah, I would definitely. I would. Granted, you're not going to be able to get a first-round draft pick, but I mean, I think Lamar Jackson would definitely.
He'd be all right. By the time you get draft, his cap hit would have hit already.
I think you'd be perfectly fine with having Lamar Jackson the quarterback and then trying to figure out, especially since they were close to making the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I don't know what my team's thinking. I don't know.
And in the NFC, that's weak. Well, weaker compared to the AFC, actually.
Yes, Lamar Jackson goes out to the AFC to the NFC. Even if he plays like he's played the last 5 years, they're going to be either probably represented in the Super Bowl and at least a couple of NFC championships because there's no other quarterbacks in there. There's no quarterbacks. It seems like Aaron Rodgers is about to leave. So you got Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins.
And now they got
Derek Carr.
Kyler Murray's still there.
Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, like Matt Stafford. Like these are names you talk about average quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Lamar goes to the
those are
Panthers.
average.
Yep.
If or like maybe above
Panthers,
average.
you're winning. If he plays 6
doesn't have a quarterback at all. Well,
no.
I take that back. I forgot about Derek Carr.
And Atlanta says they like Ant Ritter.
I don't buy that. No, it's too early, man.
Come on, man. Y'all like Ritter? All right.
They would have been better off just
if they start with Ritter, if they're starting with Ritter with the team the way the team it is, they already traded Calvin Ridley. They're telling us they're tanking. Atlanta's tanking.
I think if you could keep it,
they got one of the worst records.
If you go out and try to sign Lamar Jackson and make it public that you're trying to move away from the guy you just drafted or whatever it is, and then it doesn't happen, doesn't work out, then you got to go back to the guy like Ritter.
That is true.
You got to go back to him and try to coddle him and try to be like, we
want you here.
We want you.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, you could also do. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard, I guess, but kind of do it quietly where nobody knows. I don't know how that stays in house for the most part, because I mean, it's
going to be leaking. That's going to be getting out.
That's the problem. It just leaks. Like I don't. But if they can try to find a way to talk to Lamar behind closed doors, I think. That way nobody really gets hurt until maybe it comes out a couple weeks later or something like that. We try to the Falcons tried to sign Lamar 4 weeks ago. It didn't work out. Instead, he signed with the
Panthers or Texans. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know anything. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't understand teams that need a quarterback that, unless you're in the Caleb Williams. Because if we, like I said it, if we start Matt Howell, we're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. That's it.
Probably.
Or Drake May. Yeah.
It's gonna
if we go get Lamar, then I know my franchise wants to win. I'm telling you, man, I wholeheartedly believe this. If Dan Snyder was in charge of the team, we would get Lamar. He would pay the money and he would give up the draft picks.
I don't know. If you're Lamar, who would you want to go to then? And
out of the teams,
I mean, it could be any team that needs a quarterback, not even teams that like the Colts.
I would like to go to the 49ers. I don't know if they got the cap space. Because then that the 49ers would be tough. They're quiet. They're quiet as a church mouse.
Yeah, besides your team, obviously, who would you want them to go to?
Yeah. San Francisco, I think, is a good spot. I think the Panthers are a good spot. I think Atlanta's a good spot. I think if I'm Lamar, I'm waiting quietly to see what San Francisco does. I don't know if they're going to say forget the 2 first-round picks, but the way they're set up, their team is very deep, and that solves the quarterback. You got to think they have Lamar against Philly. They might be in the Super Bowl, man. They didn't have a quarterback, or because now the whispers is they're trying to get Tom Brady out of retirement.
Oh my! I heard that.
And Tom Brady's like, I'm not leaving. I don't think Tom Brady is going to unretire. I think he's really done. I think Tom Brady is done.
Teams called Phillip Rivers last year, from what I heard.
Yeah,
about him trying to come back, like the Dolphins or somebody and some other
Dolphins and another team.
Yeah, I'm like, no, thank you, man.
No,
he had a solid year, yo. The last year he played, he did. Solid. But I mean, you're just reaching for quarterbacks at this point. Good quarterbacks, or at least back in their heyday, but
and we'll talk about the Jets later, but the Jets been losing a long time. But we'll talk about that. All right, now Derek Carr, he signs with the Saints. What's your over under? How many games do they win?
I gotta look at the schedule, or not the schedule, but see who's on their team that they play next year. But just off the top of my head,
they
won 7 last year. I think Derek Carr with the weak division. I think Derek Carr is good for another 2 or 3 wins. Probably.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking 10.
I think
10-7, 11-6, maybe.
10 is not bad. I mean, they play obviously the NFC South, and they play the Bears at home, the Lions at home, the Jaguars at home, the Giants at home, and the Titans at home. Those are some winnable games.
Those are very winnable.
Road, they got the Packers. Who knows how they're going to look? The Texans going to have a rookie quarterback. The Colts, a rookie quarterback. The Rams. Stafford.
We don't know how they're going to look. Hopefully, Stafford's back.
The Vikings. I mean, the Vikings are in close games every single year, it seems like. Last year. The Patriots.
Might lose, maybe. Belichick's a good scheme. The Patriots are good.
Always there.
Always there.
Coach, but if Matt Jones played like he did last year, I don't know. I mean, that's schedule, man. That schedule just seems easy compared to what you tried to do last year.
Yes,
so much easier.
So they're playing y'all are playing the NFC North.
NFC North, NFC North, and
AFC South.
AFC South, yeah.
Yep. That North, that Bears. Detroit might be a game. They might beat the Bears. Yeah, they got them at home. They might beat the Bears. I think they're going to beat the Giants. We'll talk about that later, but I don't think the Giants made a good decision.
I don't think so. I couldn't believe
it. So yeah, I think you're right. I think 10 wins in a weak division. Now, if the Panthers or Atlanta get Lamar, that's a different conversation. Because I think that's going to catapult, that team up top to the top tier of the NFC.
Yeah.
Speaking of Daniel Jones, he signed a 4-year, I believe, $160 million contract. I know you were just shaking your head. What are your thoughts? Because I'm blown away. It blows me.
I'm happy for Daniel.
Well, I'm happy for me as a Commanders fan.
Okay. Go ahead. Happy for Daniel Jones. I think he got a great deal. I know this is what the market is. Like people, I'm hearing all day. This is what the quarterback market is. This quarterback market. But I mean, I have, to me personally, I haven't seen enough from Daniel Jones. Like this year, he had a decent year, a good year, I guess. Because he doesn't just pass, he also runs. But I mean, he had to do that because they don't have any wide receivers. Mm-hmm. So he had 15 touchdowns. He had 5 picks, which is really good. So his interceptions were way down, but he couldn't even throw a touchdown a game. He only threw over 230 yards 3 times. Twice was against the Vikings. Once was against the Lions, and they were 2-3 in terms of pass defense. The second and third worst pass defense in the NFL last season. Only other team that beat them out was Tennessee. So the fact that you can only throw for 230 yards or more against basically 2 teams, but 3 times in a 16, or he didn't play the last game, so he played 16 games, 17 if you include the playoff. So 17 games he played. You can't throw for more than 230. Hey, I understand he didn't have any talent, man. I get all that, and he made it up with his.
And he threw for 15 touchdowns.
15 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying. 15 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
He had 3,000 yards, which isn't hard to do anymore in the NFL. I mean, like 4,000 seems to be the standard now, or 4,500, or somewhere around the 4,000 range. That 3,000 was back in like the 90s or whatever it is.
Yep.
It was cool back then. It was something. Yeah, but now, nah. But 15 touchdowns, man. He had 7 rushing touchdowns. I get all that, but I would have just. I think
I would have franchise tagged him.
Well, I think that somebody said, I could have sworn that somebody said that Saquon wouldn't have signed back with the Giants if they didn't, I guess, agree to a long-term deal with Daniel Jones. I'm not sure if that was true or not, or maybe I misheard that. But if that's the case, then I mean, maybe you had to do what you had to do to keep Saquon. Maybe you could have restructured his deal or whatever it is. I'm not sure, but I would have tried. If I could have franchise tagged him, I would have franchise tagged him and say, you know what, prove it again. Go out there and try to do it again.
That's it.
See what happens. Now, if it turns out that you did it again, or even you exceeded expectations, and I got to pay you more money, maybe I'll pay you more money. If not, you're a free agent. You go see out there and see if the Panthers will pay you $43 million when they could pay whoever, I don't know, or get a rookie quarterback, or he goes to the Commanders or something like that because he wants to get revenge on the Giants for not whatever. I mean, I just don't think he's getting $82 million at signing, so guaranteed. So that's basically almost half the deal. I think the Giants, they can get out from under the deal at the end of the second year, going into the third. So I'm not sure if they got to take a cap hit or whatever it is, but I just didn't see enough from Daniel Jones for me to give him $40 million. I thought when he said that a few weeks ago, when I heard it, I was like, he's crazy. I would have said 20. They doubled that and gave him 82 guaranteed. I mean, ain't no way. Ain't no way. There's no way. And not one season, no way.
To me, it's like I think they still think he's good, and I don't. I don't know what they see in him. I've never been a fan of Daniel Jones. When that whole nickname came out, Danny Dimes, I was pissed. I was like, what is the media doing? Yeah, like I just don't think he's a good quarterback. What's the receiver's name? He's a Fox NFL analyst. He says Danny Dimes is a top 10 quarterback. Oh, Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings. He said that. He said it multiple times. And I was like, okay, you're gonna hear this next year, because that when he doesn't perform like he did this year. Here's the thing that we all know. There are going to be some teams that's going to make the playoffs that didn't make the playoffs last year. It happens every year in the NFL. It happens every year in the NFL. AFC we can kind of predict, right? NFC, kind of. Probably Dallas, probably the Eagles, probably San Francisco, probably the Saints now. But the Giants, I don't think the Giants make it. Then what do you justify? You're going to say, oh, Daniel Jones didn't have any weapons. Well, he had no weapons and he made the playoffs. So what's the difference? Maybe he's just not that good of a quarterback. And it seems like they kind of like dummy down the playbook for him. Open it up. Open up the playbook. I just don't think it's a good signing. And I think in 3 years from now, Brian Daboll might be on the hot seat because Daniel Jones has not lived up to his expectations and contract. And that's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But maybe I'm wrong.
That's what I say. Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know. Maybe they see something that they don't. You know, it's. I don't think I don't know what they're doing. I would have given the franchise tag and said, "Let me see a year."
Right. Let me get. See what you do.
And the funny thing is, I forgot this. The reason that they had to sign him was because he didn't sign the 5-year extension. They said we want to see one more year out of him. He does that last year, and you say, oh, now we got to sign you to a contract? What? His stats are crazy. 3,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And you only threw over 230 yards 3 times. It was against Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings, whose pass defense was the worst. So, I mean, good luck. You know, when they don't make the playoffs next year, it's going to be an excuse. Now, when they don't make the playoffs the year after that, it's going to be questions. And then Daniel Jones will be a backup quarterback, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he'll get another opportunity. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. I didn't see it in college. They were like, oh, he gets coached by Eli Manning's coach. He's not Eli Manning. He's not. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't get it.
I don't see what the infatuation. I don't know why they felt like they had to. I kind of get why they felt like they had to sign him, because there's really nobody else out there, and they're not picking high enough to get a rookie again.
That's true.
But I mean, I just don't think Daniel Jones is that good of a quarterback. I just don't. I'm sorry.
Maybe you can't convince me otherwise. You can't.
Maybe this year he'll go out. If he goes out and he plays exceptionally well, better than he did last year, or even better than his rookie year where he had 24 passing touchdowns, and he comes out and he goes, I don't know, 27 and like 7 or something like that, and he has 4,000 yards. I'll come here and I'll say, you know what?
Me too. I was wrong.
I was wrong. I apologize. Daniel Jones is that guy. He deserves the contract that he got. But until then,
I gotta see it.
I'm not mocking Daniel Jones. I'm sorry.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
He's not. And then you got Aaron Rodgers possibly coming in. And
there you go.
It's not gonna go from Giants to Jets, but I mean, if I were to pick one team, if Aaron Rodgers goes there, I would definitely pick the Jets better than the Giants coming in the next
year. So there we go. I was just about to ask that. All right. Now, there have already been talks. I think they've met twice so far. I think so. I think that Aaron Rodgers has met the Jets twice. Now, the only thing with the Jets is with Aaron Rodgers, he might be a 1-year rental, maybe 2. Because he's been flirting with this retirement for a minute. You know, he has, you know. And then if you're Jets, you're going to have to ask a question like, are you going to come to OTAs? Like, you know, he's like, he's a made man. He is. You can say what you want about Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's one of the best. He's in the top 10 quarterbacks of all time. He is. That's just, that's how it is. He's a beast, right? He's one of the, you know, besides Patrick Mahomes, man, I think one of the best throwers of the football. And he was definitely the best thrower of the football. I'm not talking about quarterback, but the best thrower of the football I've seen probably since Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. I can agree with that, right? He puts the ball placement is crazy. The Hail Marys is crazy, right? So I get that. But if you're the Jets, you want a quarterback so bad, you're going to get 2 years, maybe 2 years out of Aaron Rodgers. You might only get 1. You might get 1. And the offensive line is bad, too. So if you're the Jets, I get it. If he goes there, maybe they're thinking he's like Tom Brady, but we got to get this out of our heads. Tom Brady and LeBron James are different animals. I don't think we got to stop saying players can play in their 40s or players at 38 can play like LeBron. Players in 38 over can play like Tom Brady. They are exceptions. I don't see it happening for a long time. I understand Russell Wilson, like, I want to play the 40. He's already regressed since last year. Aaron Rodgers cannot possibly say he wants to play the 45. He's already contemplated retirement 3 years in a row. Like, man, I don't know if I want to do it. So I get it. And also the Packers, I think the Packers are done. I found this out today. Aaron Rodgers, so Green Bay, it was a specific quarterback coach that they brought with Jordan Love. And I like Jordan Love. They said Jordan Love was destroying the scout team. And that's why the Packers are like, you can go. They believe in Jordan Love. They believe in Jordan Love. That's why they're saying, you can talk to the Jets. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. And if he goes to the Jets, if he commits, if Aaron Rodgers commits, I think the AFC is tough. Their division is tough. If Tua stays healthy all year, that's an if. Buffalo's not going anywhere, right? The Jets do have a top 5 defense. You still got the Patriots. I don't care what you say, the Patriots are going to play you tough. And then you got Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson will be there, Herbert's be there, Lawrence is there. It's just a gauntlet. And then you're going to have the rookies, maybe. We'll talk about them later. But, I mean, even if he goes to the Jets, they might win 11 games. As far as how far they can go, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers' postseason record isn't good. So they might win one playoff game. So what do you think? What do you think about the whole Aaron Rodgers situation of going? I mean, he's talking to the Jets at this point. And how far do you think the Jets will go?
Oh,
look at this.
I
schedule.
think that they will probably make. I mean, at this point, you kind of have to. You automatically know what you're getting with Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. You know he's going to go through this phase where he's thinking about retiring, or he's going to tell you what 2-3 a month later that he's coming back or whatever it is, and you're going to have to go through this possibly again. But I mean, if you're the Jets, you're trying to win a championship. This is pretty much your best option. Like your defense is really good, top 5. You got a good young group of wide receivers. You got a good young running back, couple running backs back there. And then all you pretty much need is a quarterback and a better offensive line, like a little bit better offensive line or better offensive line. See if we leave it at that. But I mean, everything else seems to be really good. It seems like he's following the footsteps of Brett Favre.
That's so crazy.
He's Brett Favre's son or something. I don't know. He's trying. I mean,
that's crazy.
So it seems like it's going the same path if this happens. But if I'm the Packers, I mean, you can get rid of Aaron Rodgers. You ain't got to deal with that headache anymore. Now you can go ahead and put Jordan Love out there and see what you got with him for the next couple of years. He's probably not going to demand much as far as salary goes, because you really haven't seen him play much when his contract comes up. So, I mean, you can probably still be able to get him for cheap and keep him there, and then whatever it is. So, if I'm the Packers, I am trading Aaron Rodgers just to get, if anything else, just to get rid of Aaron Rodgers, get him out of your facility. You got to deal with it anymore, and then just start over and start out with your new quarterback, Jordan Love, going into next season.
Yeah, because Jordan Love's going to show up.
Yeah, you had to see what at least for one season, you have to see what you have with Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
Even if his stats, his numbers aren't good, if all the other intangibles are good, like his footwork, his accuracy, he's able to see the field, he's able to throw defenders off or whatever it is, all the other stuff. Like, he might have some ups and downs. He might have it might be a bad season because there's no wide receivers on this team so far. And how the Packers don't like to draft wide receivers. So I don't see it. What would be interesting if they got out, if they traded Aaron Rodgers in the same year and then they drafted a first round wide receiver?
That would be crazy.
How crazy would that be?
They trade Aaron Rodgers and then they draft a receiver in the first round.
That would be.
Oh man, that would be interesting.
That'd be insult to injury, I think, a little bit, or whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe
that would be interesting.
Aaron Rodgers would probably be fine with it. You might even laugh about it. Go on Pat McAfee show and laugh about it. But I definitely would probably see how these talks go. Hopefully, I mean, for the Jets' sake, hopefully it turns out good. Like, hopefully they like what they hear from Aaron. And then Aaron likes what he's hearing from the Jets. I mean, it's not like he has a lot of options. It's pretty much this team, maybe the Raiders, even though they said they weren't interested, and then the Packers. What if he does go back to the Packers? Then what happens? Do you sit Aaron Rodgers, even though you're paying him $50 million, I think?
You can.
And then start the rookie or the rookie. Damn.
And then you got to understand if they bring Aaron back, Jordan Love might
want to trade.
And then you're stuck with Aaron Rodgers, and we already know the young receivers don't really rock with Aaron Rodgers because he's not there for OTAs, and he was talking like bad, not down to him, but he was, he
was frustrated.
He was frustrated. I get it; they're rookie receivers, but
you're kind of to blame for that if you don't.
Yeah.
Don't go out there. It's like if he goes to New York, I would hope that he goes. Since it's a new system, it's new receivers. It's a new area, whatever. Everything's new for him.
Go to OTAs.
I would assume you would have to go and get some, especially after what happened last year. You have to be like, you know what? Last year I didn't go to OTAs. I didn't do any of this. I didn't have that connection with my receivers until late in the season. I might want to think about going to training camp and OTAs early this year and to get that connection with those guys that I just don't know how they work or whatever it is, and just go out there and just rock out with the team. Like you got to be part of the team. You can't just be
that's
Russell Wilson and have your own office.
Oh man, that's one thing I respect about Tom Brady. He was there in the offseason. He was there at OTAs.
Until he took off this year, but yeah, last year. But
he retired this year. He was going
about last year until last
year, yeah.
It was 2 weeks off or whatever.
Took 2 weeks off. Yep. But he's already won a Super Bowl with that team. But the first year he showed up, he was during COVID, and they said you couldn't meet with players. He was meeting with them anyway.
No, yeah.
The next year he was still there at OTAs. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers wasn't there. Aaron Rodgers missed OTAs. I think Brady was there for OTAs, but he missed 11 days out of training camp. He was going through a divorce, blah, blah, blah. Aaron Rodgers showed up training camp and was like, I'm happy to be here, but I almost wasn't. Tom Brady never did that. Tom Brady was like, I'm going through a divorce. I'm really thinking about retiring. You know, I won 7 NFL championships. I can afford 11 days off, right? But Aaron was kind of like, it's a little different, you know. If Tom Brady had receivers he's never thrown to, you know how he operates. He's in there in the offseason. He's inviting them out. Come on, let's do these routes. I'm trying to win championships. Aaron Rodgers didn't do that. And I don't think if he goes back to Green Bay, I don't know what they're gonna do. Will you trade Jordan Love? I would take Jordan Love. I like him, man. I think he's gonna be.
I mean, I don't like him over Aaron Rodgers, but I mean,
no. As a young quarterback, I would take a flyer.
I mean,
if I was at FLT,
have on him and see what he can do. I mean, yeah, obviously, Aaron. I would take Jordan Love, but I mean, if I had a choice between the two, I'd definitely. If Aaron doesn't want to be there and he's just not,
you're gonna have the same season.
The last couple of years.
Then the young receivers are gonna be irritated if they bring Aaron back and he doesn't go to OTAs again and it goes to the season and blames them again. That's not good for your locker room. That's not good for your locker room, man. Knowing that Jordan Love was there and Jordan Love was dedicated, you know.
I want to see what happens with him. I would assume it's going to happen within like the next week.
I think so.
I mean, they had to get something done, get it over with, and move on, and then we can.
I hope so. I hope so. But you're right. I don't think he has a lot of teams that are interested in him because
doesn't seem like at least he
wants to like nobody knows what he's going to do.
Plus, he's. I mean, was there a lot of interest in Tom Brady when he was was he a free agent? Technically, this ain't the same thing. He's not a free agent, but I remember obviously the Bucks,
Dolphins.
Okay.
Remember, the Dolphins had to give up their draft pick for tampering.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right. I'm just trying to figure out who was interested in.
I think Tennessee was. I think a lot of teams, but Tom Brady kind of narrowed it down himself. Like I don't think. I think the Commanders. I think we still had Haskins and Heineke, right? I think that he was looking at Tampa Bay. Damn, I don't know. I can't remember. I know it was supposed to be the Dolphins. I know it was the Bucks. Damn, I can't bring it up.
I don't know. But
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of interest, like you said, in Aaron Rodgers. Maybe because of the iffy stuff that he goes off. I mean, that he goes through in the offseason. Maybe it's because he's close to retirement. And Tom Brady was close to retirement too. Tom Brady just wasn't giving off the I don't know what I'm doing this offseason.
Yeah.
Wait for like a month and come back. And then he wasn't doing that. He was just ready to come back and play. He just He didn't say anything. He just came back and played. So I can understand why teams don't want to invest in. Plus, he has a high ass contract too. But I mean, I think I would assume the Packers would take some of that off, maybe half. I don't know.
That's gonna have to be, or maybe Rodgers restructures.
Possible, yeah.
But see, is how long is he gonna play?
Yeah, you don't know. You don't really know when you get guys in their late 30s, early 40s in any sport, but start trying to play. I mean, Drew Brees played into his 40s, I believe.
Yeah, Tom Brady said he was going to play to 45. He was like, I'm going to play to 45.
So, I mean, it can happen, especially how, I guess, the rules are for quarterbacks now in terms of getting hit and stuff like that. So they're kind of protecting them a little bit more. And Aaron Rodgers, he can still play. So it's just going to be, if you're the Jets, do you really want to, how do you, like, do you want to risk it and just go and try to hope that he comes back for another 2 years, maybe 3 years at the most? Or do you just want to not and then try to take your chances on or I don't even know who's out there, or try to bring back Mike White or what's the dude's name? Zach Wilson. I don't know if I want to do that, but I mean, if you ain't got no other choice, you might not have no other choice. It might just be what it is. And that's, if you don't get a deal done with Aaron Rodgers, I really don't see too many people out there. Since they didn't Derek Carr.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, that's January 15th. I can't find it. But I think that's why Derek Carr went to the Saints.
I thought it was a good signing for the Saints. I think
me too.
I think it's a really good sign. They got a good team. The defense is top 5. I think they were top 5, maybe top 10.
Yeah.
First, the whole Alvin Kamara thing is the whole issue. Clearly, it's what he's going to go through, and then you have some decent receivers, especially Olave. I don't know about Michael Thomas. He's always the last couple of years.
I can tell you who was in the Brady sweepstakes.
Landry.
Vegas, Chicago, the Chargers, the Rams, the Saints, the Titans, and the 49ers. I think the Chargers didn't draft yet.
Yeah.
They didn't draft Herbert yet. I think Herbert got drafted 2020.
He had a lot of options. I guess the only difference is he was a free agent versus trying to trade for somebody. You got to trade pieces,
he made a smart pick. Bucks was a smart pick. They had a good roster.
Yeah, they had a good really. I mean, obviously, had a really good.
It was them or San Francisco. If he went to San Francisco, he might have went on I don't know. He might have won. He would have won one championship. I don't know. The Rams still beat him. I don't know. Him and the Rams in the championship game? I don't know. He goes to San Francisco. He might win back-to-back. Might. I don't know. But the 49ers had a good team. But yeah, man. I think the difference is Tom Brady was kind of like, you knew you're probably gonna get Tom Brady for 3 years. The Bucks probably knew, like, we're probably gonna get, and Tom Brady's dedicated. Aaron Rodgers, it's just, we about to go into this rookie quarterback. But it's just so funny that he's acting just like Brett Favre. It's hilarious. So, and people will say I don't think he retires. If he retires, he's gonna unretire. I don't know, man. The hell is that?
Maybe he doesn't get traded.
Weird stuff. Man, maybe.
That's
maybe
he does get away from, though.
$60 million is a nice amount of money. Okay, so yeah, the Jets are talking about him. All right, so let's go into these rookie quarterbacks. All right. I did a little bit of research. Let me ask you this. Who who do you think is the best rookie quarterback of this draft class?
Bryce Young. I think he's the best quarterback. I just think people are still
His weight and height.
size is like the biggest thing that's I think is giving him issues because I think Stroud is like 6'3", and he's only like 5'10" or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I can understand it, but I mean, like I just think he's the better quarterback. I think he's the better overall quarterback. I think all the quarterbacks have their issues. I think Bryce Young's one of his things that obviously his downfall, I guess, is his size. Something he can't really control. He can't control how tall he is. But it is what it is.
He has the least negative issues. Bryce Young.
I think so. I think if he was 6'3", like 6'2", 6'3", like
people be trading. People be trading the number one pick for him.
I think it'll be an easy, overwhelming number one overall pick would be Bryce Young.
Yeah, people are calling. Chicago might not trade that pick if Bryce Young is CJ Stroud height. I don't know if Chicago trades it. They might trade Justin Fields and keep him. I'm serious, man. Bryce Young is
he's
like that.
This draft is just iffy. Like I don't know who's going to be. I've seen mock drafts with Will Levis number one. I've seen only one I had number one is Anthony Richardson, but I've seen his stock go from in the beginning it was like 16 or 18 or whatever it is now. It's like
shot up
3 at the highest I think I've seen. It's crazy. So I still believe in Bryce Young, despite the height issues. But yeah, man, I think I think his accuracy. He has that escapability he can use to his advantage. He can see stuff throughout from inside the pocket. He handles pressure well. Throws on the run well.
Yep.
Pretty much does everything well. It's just if you really want a smaller, a 5'10" quarterback throwing the ball to your receivers, who I think he shot up to like over 200 pounds now. So
yeah.
I think he was like 204 or 205 or something like that. So
I think he's 204.
Yeah, he's still smaller than Stroud. I think Stroud was like 214, 215. But he's put on weight, which I said last week. I think, if you put on weight, that's a plus. I mean, you can't really help your height, but you can at least put on some muscle, some extra weight to help absorb some of those hits or whatever. Or lower your shoulder in some of these cornerbacks or maybe not linebackers, but maybe some linebackers. It is what it is. But I take some of these hits basically. So I'm going Bryce Young, man, my top overall pick. Now, whether he goes number one overall is a different story, but
different.
Or not even number one. Maybe the first quarterback overall, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree with that. I think Bryce Young. So first I have him as CJ Stroud, right? But I agree, man. Like I first of all, you're exactly right. And he comes from a pro style offense. He's good in fourth quarter situations. He's played in the SEC against top level competition. He's unfazed by the rush. His ball placement is excellent. He can make every NFL throw. And he can make plays with his legs. The only thing is his height. Now, I think Houston is going to draft him. Now it's stuff coming out of Jimmy Garoppolo going to Houston. If Bryce Young falls, now Arizona's talking about they're going to trade, which I think so. If Houston doesn't draft Bryce Young, third spot is good for Panthers to go up and get Bryce Young. I would probably love Bryce Young. That would be a gem. Because y'all have the 7th spot right now, right?
Nice.
Y'all got 9th, go up 6 draft spots. It might cost you. But y'all got extra picks, though. Y'all may have to trade 2 first. But to get Bryce Young in the NFC, it'll be worth it. With Frank Wright.
I hope they get a quarterback, man.
You would be like, let's go.
There's at least there's about 5 teams in the top 10 that I think
5, that's crazy.
Maybe more. It may be 6 because I've been seeing Seattle take a draft. I take a quarterback.
Man, they said it.
Weird, but
like, what?
I kind of see it because Geno got signed to a short-term deal. I think they could be over in 2, I think, or whatever. But I can understand why, man. But I'm just hoping that the Panthers come back.
Y'all might have to trade up. Because if Houston doesn't pick one, then Arizona said they're trading. So Arizona's not picking a quarterback.
Well,
I don't care what nobody says. They're not. They can't afford to.
If they do take a quarter, I mean, if they do get Jimmy Garoppolo, then that opens up
up. I keep hearing it, man. Mike Silver, he's pretty good. He's pretty good reporting. He's saying that.
I hope so. Let them have Jimmy Garoppolo. Let them suffer for
launching.
I don't care.
It's
Rose's team.
I like my second quarterback is CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a Ohio State quarterback, but he's probably, they said, like, his pocket presence is immaculate. He's a traditional old school pocket passer. That's who he is, right? He can make legs. He can make plays with his leg, and he did it against Georgia. But most times he's a pocket passer. Only thing is, he got some mechanical issues, right? Stares the number one receiver down too often. That happens. Doesn't create outside the pocket and pass rush. Listen, all those NFL quarterbacks do all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a pass rush, I don't know any NFL quarterback that comes over that. It bothers Patrick Mahomes. It bothers Tom Brady. Those are the 2 greatest ever. They're some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Same with Peyton Manning, same with Aaron Rodgers. Like, the pass rush is hard, and doesn't create outside the pocket. He did so in the Georgia game. Maybe they're probably not talking about a big sample size, but I think CJ Stroud, I think he's going to be another good quarterback. I think those are the 2 best quarterbacks in this draft. And if teams are smart, I know I've seen a lot in this. I've seen a lot of mock drafts where he's in Indianapolis, and Corey says he loves that.
Yeah,
I think I think he ends up in Indianapolis. I think the head coach, he fits the head coach. I did see some drafts where they're trading.
I've seen drafts where they traded up with Chicago.
Chicago, right? That's maybe if they want to jump Houston, but fourth is a good spot. Now, if Arizona is open to trade, Corey did say if Houston gets a quarterback, then he would rather trade Arizona to go up. They might have to do that because Arizona came out today and said number 3 is open. Mm-hmm. So when they say that means teams have been inquiring about that number 3 pick. Somebody's going to move in that third spot and draft a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Rich the third. Okay, so here's the thing. I did some research about Will Levis. I've seen Will Levis go in the top 10 in all the mock drafts. Right? I've seen him go to the Panthers. I've seen him go to the Raiders a lot. The only issue, listen, he's been compared to Josh Allen. He's a big kid. His arm is off the charts. He's a good runner, good accuracy. The only problem is he has sloppy footwork and poor decision making. So wherever he goes, and he has raw mechanics. So, and he gives up the play soon. Josh Allen does all of this. Like, instead of just waiting at 2 extra seconds, he might run, right? I think it depends on where Will Levis goes if he's going to be good. If he goes to, if Carolina gets him and he goes with Frank Reich, and Frank Reich can kind of hone him in. Because I think the difference between Carson Wentz is Carson was too old to be molded like he was in Philly. I think if you get Will Levis, I think that you can kind of mold him to be a quarterback. So if y'all draft Will Levis, I think that's a good spot because he needs an offensive coordinator to work with his mechanics. But if he goes to Houston, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. He has to have involvement from the head coach that's been a quarterback or has an offensive mind because of his mechanics. I don't know if he's going to be good or not, but he has to go to offensive minded head coach. What's your thoughts on Will Levis?
Will Levis, I mean, he lost a lot of players in the from this past season. But I mean, his season before that, he wasn't like lights out. He wasn't that spectacular. He still had a lot of picks, 13. He had 20 touchdowns. I mean, he's seeing guys like, granted, they're in better offenses like Ohio State or Alabama, but C.J. Stroud had 47-7 the year he won the Heisman. I mean, Will Levis has a great arm. He can make the long throws down the field. He just has issues with holding on to the ball too long and taking some terrible sacks.
Yeah,
he makes like with the interceptions, he makes bad decisions sometimes, especially in key moments. So he's probably gonna, unless he can kind of whoever's going to draft him can, which I hope he goes to an offensive minded head coach.
Yeah,
he's going to take some lumps there. He's probably going to throw some crazy decision passes. I mean, kind of like how we saw Trevor Lawrence in his first year.
Yeah, he's going to throw some crazy stuff.
He got a coach that knows what he's doing, and they made the offense better. So maybe even if he goes to an offensive minded head coach, like say the Panthers, maybe the first year is going to be bad. It's going to be tough, but maybe the second year with another year and repetition and growing pains, that he can come back out and have a better second year and not throw those crazy interceptions like Baker Mayfield is another guy who comes to mind that those crazy he has a great arm, but he throws some crazy passes sometimes over the defender's head or over the receiver's heads, and just those crazy passes and then end up intercepted. So I'm hoping for the best, but I think his stock has kind of taken a drop. It's not because of what he's done or what he hasn't done. It's just because I think Anthony Richardson's stock is because of the combine. Once again, I don't believe in the combine. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place. It doesn't count. But for me, film is like the top. Film is the top. It's
film again.
I don't even know.
Film.
I mean, you're not going against anybody. Like, there's been so many people who run a fast 40 time, but then you get out there on the field and they just can't do anything just because, and they get drafted high, but they get on the field and it's just like the 40 time doesn't matter because they can't get separation. The defenders jamming them up. They can't get away from me. They don't run good routes, but they ran a good 40 time. What is it? And then you see guys who don't run a good 40 time, and then they're really good.
Debo Samuel.
Right. So I mean, I just don't get it, man. I don't know. I mean, there's
I think DeAndre Hopkins didn't have a good 40 time.
It's stuff to be said about some of that stuff. Like some of the stuff does have merit and does have weight, but some of the stuff to me just doesn't. And I just don't get it. But anyway.
You know what Colin Cowherd said about it, and then we're gonna go to Anthony Richardson. You know what Colin Cowherd said about the combine? He was like, if you tell a kid, I'm gonna train your hardest for 8 weeks, you'll get a first round pick. He was like, it's kind of hard to trust the combine because he said all the college kids test and prep for everything. So by the time the combine comes, they prep for the interviews for 8 weeks. They've ran a 40 for 8 weeks. They've worked out for 8 weeks. He was like, it's kind of hard to tell at the combine who's really serious and what the work ethic is like. He was like, that's why you got to go to film. Film is number one. Film doesn't lie. All right, so Anthony Richardson, speaking about combine, he had a phenomenal combine. But his problem is, so he's getting a lot of comparisons to Cam Newton.
I've seen that, man.
I think Cam Newton was a better player and passer. That's just me. but they said that, he got a big arm, good measurements, but he's inaccurate. He's inconsistent. He needs better ball placement. He needs progression. He needs work. Now, here's the thing. If he falls to Seattle, they might draft him because he can learn behind Geno for 2 years, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll's known to do stuff like that. When he came out and was like, hey, we picking 5th, yeah, we're looking at the quarterback. I was like, oh, snap. And then think about Geno. This doesn't affect Geno because if Geno Smith goes to the playoffs next year and wins a playoff game, goes to the playoffs again, either they're going to re-sign him or let him go. Somebody's going to sign him. Somebody's going to re-sign Geno if he goes to the playoffs. Somebody is. Right? But then if they have Anthony Richardson, so it's going to be interesting. He's a good kid. He just needs time. He needs to sit. He needs to sit. He needs to sit a year. So it'll be very interesting if Seattle did it. Like, I wouldn't suggest him going to Carolina because I don't think it's a good fit for him. I think Tennessee, if he drops Tennessee, Tannehill's on a 1-year rental, right? Even though they have Malik Wilson, so I don't know. That might have just been a bad pick. Once again, that's the combine hype. Malik Willis, combine hype. So, he could, I mean, my friend says, I was like, if Anthony Richardson falls to the Commander 16, you draft him? He says, yes. I was like, I don't know, but Ron Rivera did work with Cam Newton. But I don't know. And we got Eric Bieniemy there, but I don't know. I'm trying to be in this Caleb Williams sweepstake, but all right. And the last quarterback, I did Hendon Hooker. I haven't really heard a lot about him. Corey likes him. Corey's like really high on him. I did my research. He was pretty good, actually. He has excellent poise in the pocket, great footwork. He's accurate on short and intermediate passes. But he got to this is every college quarterback. You got to get better with your progressions. But he needs more time under center because he came from a spread offense. And he's 25.
Mm-hmm.
It's 25. They say he's coming off an ACL injury, but I don't count that anymore because technology is really good. So ACLs aren't. I'm not going to say they're not serious, but players can come back for them nowadays more often. Growing up, if a player got ACL injury, man, his career might be done. But now, the technology, the sports medicine, the rehabbing, it's easier for players to come back. That makes sense. Yeah. So Hendon Hooker, he might fall. I don't think he's in the top 10.
No,
but
I don't even think he's in the first round unless the team is really, really desperate.
I don't see. But he's not starting until he's 27. He's 25. Yeah. The only team I can't see him. He might fall out of the first round because I can't see.
I'm not seeing him in the first round, man. Sorry.
I can't see him in the first round because after Carolina, you got Tennessee. Who knows what they're doing? Jets are not going to get a quarterback. They're going to go after Aaron Rodgers, or they've made it known they're going to go after Aaron Rodgers or Lamar. They're going to make a big splash. Probably Aaron Rodgers. New England, no. Green Bay, no. Washington, no. Pittsburgh, no. Detroit, no. They got Jared Goff. Tampa Bay, no. Now Seattle might the 20th. They might, but I don't see that they are because he's 25 years old.
Ravens might if the Ravens don't have a
Lamar. They could.
If they don't have Lamar,
They could.
Maybe.
He would probably fit their system.
But I mean, I don't know if I really see him going in the first round. I don't know.
Hell no.
Unless the team gets desperate, I think he's probably going maybe second or third. But I could be wrong.
I mean, I think he's gonna go second or third.
Actually, there was only one quarterback in the first, and he went in the 20s, I believe.
Last year, yeah, it was Kenny Pickett.
So I mean,
yeah, remember it was like everybody was gonna. Mo was like, he was hyping. I was like, nah, Mo. I heard the first quarterback shot could get drafted to the end of the second or third. And when Pittsburgh got Kenny Pickett, Mo was like, it's gonna be a run. I was like, no, it's not. I didn't hear anything on the quarterbacks last year.
It wasn't nothing until the third quarter. I mean, the third round.
Third round. Once Kenny Pickett went, it was like, nope. I think Desmond Ridder went to third. I think Malik Willis went to third. Is that it?
I thought it was somebody else, but
Matt Corral went fourth, I think. I think y'all drafted Matt Corral fourth. Y'all still have him on the roster.
He's the only quarterback the Panthers got on the roster. He won the third last year.
Oh, yeah, he won the third. Yeah.
Third, okay. He's the only quarterback they got, and he didn't even play it down last year. So everybody
I wanna, let's see. I mean, he was it was a preseason game.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, so let's let's see, man. I don't, but it's gonna be interesting draft. It's gonna be interesting because this doesn't remind me of the Mac Jones draft, like in the Trey Lance. It doesn't remind me of it, but it's gonna be some moves made, I think.
I think it's going to be some. I'm hoping the Panthers move up, but I think Richardson could end up like Trey Lance, where he go. I would assume because I don't think he's I don't think he's ready right off the bat. Like,
so you would do Sam Darnold? Y'all have Sam Darnold, right?
No, he's a free agent.
Oh no, you say he's a free agent.
If I'm saying like Anthony Richardson, if he goes to a team like you said, Seattle. Or some other team that has a veteran quarterback already, or a quarterback he can learn from, like Trey Lance did when he went to the 49ers. They had a veteran quarterback there. He didn't have to start right away. He wasn't, quote unquote, ready to play. But I mean, other than that, like if you look in the top 10, besides the Cardinals,
we're gonna need to play.
And the Cardinals ain't gonna take a quarterback. So you're looking at maybe the Lions and the Seahawks. I can see both of those teams taking a quarterback.
I could.
Neither one of them needs to, especially if it's Richardson, neither one of them need to start Richardson right away. You could just be on two quarterbacks who
you could.
I didn't expect much from last year, but they came out of nowhere and they reemerged and what's the word? Had a resurgence, I guess would be the word.
I would say Tennessee, but Tennessee's defense is horrendous. This defense was crazy.
I mean, if they're thinking about trading
Tannehill. Henry. Oh, that's right. They are talking about it.
Henry, you're gonna have nobody there, but you already don't have a wide receiver. Really. I mean, the wide receivers there were terrible last year.
Yeah, because they cut Robert Woods.
The defense is, I mean, even when they had Robert Woods, he wasn't even there. The defense is good. I mean, Vrabel was defensive-minded head coach, so the defense is going to be solid. But I mean, this team could have went to the playoffs last year.
They did say they were going to trade.
They lost like 6-7 games in a row.
Where is you think Atlanta trades for Henry?
Atlanta, I don't know. I like Cordell Patterson. He's just getting old, but he's a all around back. He's just up there. And they had like a couple other backs, Ellinger, or whatever his name is. They're okay backs, but I mean, yeah, none of them are Henry. But I mean, if you really wanted a running back, And the thing is that Atlanta's been down this road before with Todd Gurley. That didn't work out. Getting a veteran, older running back, it just didn't work out. So I don't know if they want to do that again, but I mean, it's possible.
I mean, he's 29.
And for the amount of carries that he's had with Tennessee, dogging him out, he might be. And with an extra game in there, maybe
to 2 more years, maybe.
I would hope he has another couple, like 2-3 good years left in him where he can get it easily.
Yeah, he balled out last year.
1,200 yards. The year before that, I think he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt the year before that.
Yeah, but
he had 2,000 yards, 1,500. He had 1,500 yards last year.
How many carries did he have? Like 300 plus? Yep. They just working him. Working him too much, man. It's just like they don't care. I mean, some of these people, some of these organizations, they don't care. I mean, you got one running back, which is good for fantasy, but as far as your whole team goes, it's like you got to have 2 backs now for the most part, unless you're like Saquon Barkley. But even still, I think I wouldn't be opposed if I'm a Giants fan having another running back there.
Yeah, you gotta have more than 2 just to spell them.
He's a decent. It ain't even got to be like.
Look at Cleveland. Chubb is.
It ain't got to be like them.
But they have Hunt. No, you're right.
Give me something decent. At least
it could be like a Green Bay.
I think
Aaron Jones and you think Dylan's horrible?
No, I think he could be a starter somewhere. I think. You don't use Aaron Jones enough for me, but I think. I'm not mad because they have 2 good running backs. I think I'm just mad because of fantasy. I'm
about to say they're 2 good running backs,
and I just can't stand it. So that's the only reason why I was mad. But I'm not opposed to have teams having 2 decent running backs. The Commanders have 2 good running backs.
Yep,
solid running backs, 2 different styles.
Eagles.
I like to have a good pass catching running back. Especially on 3rd down.
Dallas got 2 running backs.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
I think they have 2 at least 2 decent.
And this is a deep running back draft too. So watch out for teams that need it. It's going to be some good running backs to come out of this draft.
The Saints could use a running back because I mean, depending on what happens. I don't know if the Eagles re-sign Sanders.
Sanders.
Solid.
I don't know, man. They don't have no cap space. They got 14 free agents, and they've been quiet.
Yeah, they do have a lot of
they got a lot,
yeah, they have a lot of guys, especially some of them older guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be free agents.
I don't know if Kelsey comes back. Kelsey probably retire. Kelsey and Fletcher probably retire, man.
Fletcher Cox is still young, but in terms of age, but football age, he might be. I think he's like in his early 30s.
Yeah, he's been there.
I didn't know Sue was 36.
Sue was 36.
That old.
And Fletcher Cox, I think Fletcher Cox is.
He was like 32.
He's 32. And he's been in the league.
Seems like he's been in the league forever. He looks.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a pretty good. He probably go to the He got a pretty good resume for the Hall of Fame. And he's been in 10 seasons, yo. It's a long time. 11 seasons. That's like a lifetime in the NFL. Like, he's already won the Super Bowl. He might hang it up.
Ndamukong Suh, to me, it doesn't seem like he's been in the league that long. But he's only been in the league for years, but he's 36.
Yeah, he's like an old veteran. Man. It's crazy.
He was in 2010 draft. That's crazy to me.
All right, guys, we're gonna end this live. We're gonna